Welcome to Taking the No Out of Innovation. And thank you to Stephen Leahy and smallbusinesstalent.com for the opportunity to share this webinar with you today. Visit smallbusinesstalent.com to take advantage of their resources, the podcast archives, and to sign up for Steve's email newsletter. Taking the No Out of Innovation touches on 8 perspectives that allow you to enhance innovation, not only in your business life, but your personal life as well. I'm Mike Brown. If you know me in person, that's what I look like on the left. If you know me from online, that's probably what you see at Brainzooming, the cartoon image. I have a company called the Brainzooming Group, where we help organizations tap into the perspectives and ideas that reside within their employees, within the knowledge that they have, and use those in new ways. And through our work, we see a lot of no's to innovation. Things that exist within cultures, things that exist within people's heads, and help them work through those no's to find new ideas. It's a challenge that we're continually addressing, and I'll say that a lot of the work that we do springs from my own path in life to be more innovative. I know growing up, I was a bit of a perfectionist, afraid to make a mistake or afraid of what others might think or overstepping my bounds in a way that other people didn't agree with. And it's taken a long time to get beyond, a person who, quite frankly, in high school would have been voted least likely to be innovative. But through some great opportunities, been able to use a variety of tools and techniques to help myself and help the companies that we work with break through and look at things in new ways. I think a great question to ask as we get started is, what no voices do you hear? What things do you hear from outside, but particularly for small business professionals, what no voices exist in your own heads that are stopping progress and trying new ideas? If you can think about those things as we step through this 3-part webinar, we'll help you conquer and improve some of those as we look at taking the no out of innovation. A couple of quick upfront definitions, and I don't offer these so much for what they say as what they don't say. When we talk about innovation, we basically mean some kind of valuable improvement relative to the status quo. We don't have a high bar for it. It's just that we're making some improvements. We see an opportunity to change some things, do some things better. When it comes to creativity, another word we'll use quite a bit, we have a pretty simple definition for that as well. That's seeing things in new and different ways. If you'll notice with both of these, both with the innovation definition and creativity, there's no special talent, there's no special skill that we've cooked into that definition that people can sit back and say, well, I don't have that talent or I don't have that skill. I can't be innovative or creative. No, it really comes down to perspectives that you have to be innovative and creative, and everybody can have a perspective. There's no special talent or skill involved in that. What's really great about the perspective is we can generate those perspectives even if we struggle with them with using the right kind of frameworks and techniques and exercises to help us generate those perspectives and sustain those perspectives over time. And that's a lot of what we'll talk about in this webinar. So let's dive into the first of the 8 perspectives. And the first one is to be introspective. You've got to be able to understand your talents and your skills because those are great places of creativity and innovation. I know whenever I talk with somebody who says, well, I'm not really innovative, I always ask them, well, what are your hobbies? What do you really enjoy doing? And they may share 1 or 2 or 3. Say somebody says they're a fisherman. They enjoy fishing. So I ask them, what do you do in fishing that's different than everybody else? And invariably, they'll have a way that they have thought about fishing and look at it differently than everybody else. And I say, you know what? You're absolutely innovative. And if you think about it, it's the areas that we call distinctive talents where we all are most innovative and creative. And distinctive talents are the things that are really, they're the things that people think about when they think about you. They're the type of things you improve at all the time. These talents are beneficial to others and they're a source of energy and satisfaction. And if you can tap into those, you can use those in a business setting and a personal setting to be a lot more creative. So as you think about what are those distinctive talents, we've got some questions that we typically use with people. One is, what motivates you to get up every morning? What really drives you? Are you passionate about? What are the areas of your life where you're of greatest service to other people, that you just can do things and help them, and you get better at that all the time? Where are the things that you do or work on without pay? The things that, well, I don't have to do them. That's where I spend my time. Look for those distinctive talents. And after the webinar, take some time and think about what are those and see what do you do there that's creative, because we're going to want to apply those into work settings and more of your personal life as well. No matter how many perspectives or hidden talents like that you might have, there's still going to be some holes. To be successful in business, there's going to be some other talents you're going to need. And that's where I love this quote from Woodrow Wilson about reach out to those other brains and how do you bring them to the table to help you achieve the second perspective for innovation, which is to be diverse. There are three thinking perspectives that we look at toward diversity. The first is creative energy, that ability to just look at things in different ways. Second, direct experience. You've got sales, you've got manufacturing, operations, the experience that really people are paying you for. You're on the front lines, you've got P&L responsibility in those types of areas. And the third is functional expertise, the important functions of business that need to be there. Maybe that's marketing or accounting or HR, any of a variety of areas. When you're on your own or you're in a small business, it may be tough to have all these perspectives resonant within your organization, but can you start to look at other places to put that together? I did a TEDx talk about the idea of a porous community. The key thing there is porous, it allows ideas to come in and out. And if we look, we don't have to look too hard to find a whole source of ideas and people who may be ready to help us fill in the thinking perspectives we don't have. A great one for a lot of people is, have you asked your kids lately what they'd do with a business situation you're facing? Maybe ask them, hey, mom or dad has got this going on. What would you do? And you don't have to overcomplicate the problem for them. But the great thing about kids is they haven't learned all the things that we as adults think won't work. So they're a lot more open to possibilities, and they'll see connections that you'll never envision. So ask your kids a business challenge you have. Also, look to associations, former coworkers, networking events, the parents at soccer practice who are business people. Get out and speak about what you do. There are all kinds of opportunities to meet new people who you can talk with, ask questions, let them share their expertise as you share your expertise back with them. So think about, who do you know that complements the perspectives that you don't have, who can add and become a part of helping you be more successful as you help them be more successful. Beyond in-person things, another great place to look at is social media. How are you using social networks to reach not only a local or a national audience, but maybe a global audience who's interested in the same type of topics in a non-competitive way, and you can trade ideas back and forth. So there's people out there who can help you and improve the diversity of your thinking, the diversity of opportunities, even if they aren't on staff, even if you don't have a big team in your company. If you're going it alone or with a small group, there's folks out there who can help. So we talked about introspection, knowing your talents, your perspectives, complementing those with others. Another challenge for a lot of small business people then is there's risky things out there. And how many scary and risky things do you say yes to in the course of a year? How many do you say no to? And what's the impact of those answers on innovation for your business and your success? That all comes down to how you can get past more of those no's you're telling yourself and look at possibilities, not only realistic possibilities, but maybe even some outlandish possibilities like pigs could fly. The whole point there is early on, when an idea almost isn't even an idea yet, are you open to new and different things? One of my favorite examples of somebody who I think is an extreme possibilities person is Buddy Valestro, the cake boss from TV. If you watch that show, one episode, two episodes, you see them do some pretty incredible things with cake. Here's a cake he put together in honor of the space shuttle that actually had flames coming out of it. That's somebody who's thinking about a lot of possibilities and doesn't get bogged down in what they've known how to do or the things that we've always done. An important phrase for anyone who's in a small business environment to take on and work with is this one. No matter what this possibility is, even if I have a bunch of reasons that I think it may not work, but it could be a great idea. So if you can use that to get past your initial hesitancies, and even in things that challenge you, think about, but why could that be a great idea? Maybe it's not the whole idea. Maybe there's a piece of it. Maybe if I twist it around, but how can it be a great idea? There are two things that we use that really shape what we do, and we'll talk about them here and share more about them in the subsequent parts of the webinar. The first is structure. So often you hear people talk about, we'll start brainstorming or looking at ideas with a clean sheet of paper. That's the worst thing you can do because you're sort of left to all your own devices. We'll be sharing in the other segments some tools and exercises and questions and ways that that structure actually frees you up for more creativity and innovative thinking. The other piece of it, and this quote from Business Week has really shaped a lot of my business career, that basically the way to deal with the success in the future is to be able to look at a variety of things going on right now and consider things that may actually be contradictory to each other, but leaving doors open, brainstorming, looking at as many possibilities as you can entertain sets you up to be incredibly successful. We've talked about introspection and diversity, so you've got the right thinking perspectives in place and how you can start to look at possibilities. And that's what we'll expand on in part 2, is actually look at some of the questions that can help you be more innovative and be more successful. Those are the first 3 perspectives that really set the foundation. If you want to, before you go to the next webinar, get some more information, look at the 8 perspectives and some more background, you can go to brainzooming.com/resources/taking the no out of innovation and download and look at some links that are behind this data. As well, as we mentioned at the start, take a look at smallbusinesstalent.com. Steve Leahy does a great job of sharing wonderful resources, interviews with great business professionals to help you be more successful. Tune in for part 2, where we talk about more questions, more exercises to help you successfully look at new possibilities and take the no out of innovation. This has been Mike Brown.